This will be episode 162, cycle 2774, and onward. Now let's hope everything holds together. That's what makes me worried. Like, no more technical problems, no more power outages, please. ONI, I need you to hold together. I need you to work and not explode. Crossing fingers and hoping everything works this time around. Yes, if everything goes well tonight, we should have an episode for Wednesday and Thursday. There'll be 162, 163 tonight. At least that's the goal. That may not happen. Something could go wrong in like as an interim issue. Don't know. We're gonna find out though. At least I am. Either way, I hope the YouTube guys enjoy this. As we're definitely getting close, as I've said. Every single day I can get time in for Action Not Included. We get closer and closer to me spending probably around maybe 20 hours of editing, putting together the time-lapse. It's gonna be a little rough, I think. No. Twitch, we good? No, I'll be, let's see. ONI is loading, but just fine. Okay, there it goes. It's getting error 5000 randomly. Popped off out of nowhere. But yeah, let's get the game loaded on up. We'll do our standard priority checks. Probably should go through and check all the doors and stuff again, try to optimize everything. It's been a long time since I've gone through and done everything that needed to be done. Let's see. Oh, okay. Well, you broke on load. Wonderful. Okay. See what else? Let's see what else broke. Apparently, I have blueprints without actually having blueprints. Weird. Unless the game just accelerated a couple cycles. No, that's not possible. Okay. Double checking to make sure there's no holes in anything that was pretty consistent. You should just be running, right? I just lower this to 6 or 55. But yes, it looks like we had some load breakage. It happens. And you guys know if you've seen this entire series. Load the game, stuff likes to explode. Okay. That's okay. Processed. Temperature 100 check. You haven't blown through any walls that I know of. You haven't melted anything. That's an improvement. Okay, I think we're okay. Go back to... I gotta go back in here and fix this. Wonderful. Just wonderful. I just want to double check one thing real quick. Nope. Nope. It's just, it was an issue on load. Okay. As far as I know, there has been a hotfix since the last update, so that's also good. You haven't exploded. Let's check our core real quick. Core is safe. Somehow there's water up here. Oh, because of the coolant ended up popping out, I'm assuming. Okay, we'll have to mop that up. I think we're good. Things started. Let the game catch up. I see injuries. I see entombment on Stolen, which is expected. Keo is injured. Robo is injured. And Bucket is injured. I'm going to assume... Emeralds? No. No auto repair right now. Nope. Okay. We sorted everything that would be dangerous. Yes. The problem that we have where we had the crash before should never happen again. Super clean. Well, I will need to pull this thing down eventually. Which means doing some minor pipe adjustments. For reference, this is why we have it in this very specific coordination. I can just do this. And you, and link. Okay. I think everything else should be fine. We do have to go back into Kellen over here and fix the problem of that. That is not transferring temperature at all. Dupes, I need more water in here again. Possible. Don't sweep that. Okay, we will need to build in our wall here, vent all of this, repair that, because it totally broke again. I wish onload problems didn't happen, but it's just like, yeah, I get it. It's Unity. It's, yeah. ONI already is pushing the absolute abject limit of what the engine can do. Let me check a Friedel real quick. How are we doing on temperature? 109. Actually, kind of getting on up there. Good. I may want to shoot more petroleum over here. All nice and separated. You are staying wild. Good. I need to make sure I get all of my Dracos into there. At least enough of them that it doesn't become a problem. Dupes, can you just move him in there? Great. That has full coverage, that has coverage, full coverage, and coverage. Now the only real issue I have is I do need to get rid of the, well actually I want a hot tub here. This is the only way we're going to pull it. So, instead, where do I want to put the incubator? Therein lies the problem. Where do we put it? I would put it up here, but there's really no room. I still need this in case we need to use more supercoolant. Yeah, probably should just shift all of the supercoolant into the network. And the only thing I need to send over here is possibly a little bit more nuclear waste and petroleum. What is the gases down here? CO2. There's the sour gas. Just a little bit of sour gas left. Just a little. I think once everything's been fully processed, then I can deal with the rest. Gas is up at the top. One little blob of oxygen. That's it. Okay. So the main reason that we'll need to send petroleum over is we gotta charge this bad boy. Means us to move this solar panel. Do we have another suit lying around? Or is that actually a problem? I think we need another suit. Yeah, we'll just make another iron suit. Okay, so the rift is all ready to go. That had to be deconstructed, and then we need to reconstruct it. Like so. I might want to try to get tungsten temperature shift plate back here. I normally do diamond, but we don't have diamond here right now, and I don't really feel like shooting from over here. Not a bad idea, just something I really care to pull off right this moment. Okay. All nice and sealed right now. One part begins when we have to seal this room, because I gotta seal it on this side. So this stays cool. And I upgraded that. Move back up to 5. Thank you, Spoon. High priority that. Vent the extra oxygen out and refill room. Okay. We have enough to seal them. Not completely. Ah, crap. I still feel like I want to move the filter, and I'm like, oh, there's like no room. I've already packed everything in. I want the ladder to be inside the room, so if it does somehow get stuck in there, we've got a fucking safety range. We can try to keep it inside the steam room, but I feel like it's bad. I don't really want it to be in a vacuum. It's one of those things where I'm like, this has to be a vacuum, so all this has to go, but this is what concerns me. I could put it higher on the filter system. Keep it out of harm's way. And that would free up this wall to be insulated. Downside, obviously, is the supercoolant's going to have a hell of a lot longer distance to go, though, before it gets utilized. It would also mean that this pipe would have to go here and up, and then the filter would have to be here and then come back down. Testing it worked. But I didn't like it because I really did feel like it was not going to last long. Like, I need this to last at least 20 cycles, and then we're good. If I can get it to last 20 cycles, mission complete. If I cannot get it to last 20 cycles, we're fucked. Make sure that I can rapidly heat this up. The only real wall that needs to be deleted, I can technically delete all the walls, but the bottom is really the only one I really care about because I need to go down and around. And I have to make sure we don't melt these ports. If we melt the ports, we have to reload the game. There's no way around that one. If I melt the port, we're fucked. Everything's been cleaned out. This should be safe. This has to be vented properly. Probably just dump some of the heat from in here into this. That should be maintaining about 60 over here. There's no real median point on this one, because if I run this, it's gonna freeze out the system. Yeah. Oh, I wish there was a bit of control up. Okay, let's get the pipe installed. Delete that. Vent this chamber. Are you imparting temperature? A little bit. Stop it. If we let it go any higher, it's going to have a problem. It is still imparting its temperature because the temperature ship plate should be existing now. You need to vent. What? Oh no, I think the dupes ended up actually... Yeah, they did. They allowed some of the water to go through because they went through the door. It's annoying. Not the end of the world, just annoying. Yes, that's 32 degrees, so it's actually state changing through the wall of water. Either that or the steam pressurized its way out. Either way, probably both of which happened. Thankfully, not too hot. I was hoping they would just come in and do it. There's no door here, so they have full access. That's how we did it last time. Triple build. Oh, it's because of this build up. Yeah, it's fine. That should be invincible right now, right? Not reachable. My best guess, some of the steam made its way through the water. Because the water is not warming up at all. Like it is, it's just very little. So it's most likely someone came in from above rather than below. Because of the actual sand buildup I didn't notice. There we go. How much water is in that? Ugh, not much. 17 kilograms. That's pretty low. Not actually that much. I can probably just vent this. The coldest area. Yeah, negative 25. I could just vent this. We'll want it there. I need insulated for the start point. And then... Well, actually, no. I don't really want it bursting in the pipes. Yeah, we can just do that. Kind of just want to get rid of this excess water here. That have any other fluids coming in real quick? I was really hoping that they would come in through this side like normal, but they decided to go in through the door, so they went all the way up and around and over and then down. Like, oops. Oops, oops, oops. Ah, well. Not the end of the world. We have an actual gas lock here, so it's not actually a big deal. It's definitely one of those like, damn it, dupes. Yeah, I've been using this water to cool this area down. Seeing they went in from above, it's going to cause some problems. If I remember it, even if I do this, they're still able to go through it diagonally. So they can technically just go through the door even though they don't have permission to do so. Hey! Elite Teal Planter Box. Solid pink. Not what I was hoping for. Give me the blue one. I want cobalt. If I can get cobalt, that would be great. Yeah, we'll just need to vent this thing real quick to be able to freeze out all the water. I still gotta add a cooling loop for up here, over on this side. Yep. Okay, that should slowly cool that back down again. We'll probably freeze the resin out again. Temperature check, 65 degrees there. I'm almost tempted to just take steam straight up here, actually. Problem is there's a lot of mixed gases right now. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. Can we make this work? There's probably not enough material. I also need to get rid of this. That's all fine. This can go for now. That's there as a just in case. I can't get rid of that yet. So we can deconstruct that. Problem, we're not going to be able to really access it. Temperature. Yeah, it's going to be hot for a while. Fine. Is warming up. Only slightly. Even if I put it down here, it wouldn't actually do much. If I separate this, let it vent. We'll see how fast it cools down. Red to orange. Let's see if we can get this to work. Because if I can suck up some of the excess heat, get this rolling, then that actually solves another problem. And I'm pretty sure we're already going back down to blue. Gases do not hold temperature well. Oh, a hatchling egg. Harold with early bird, germ-resistant, kitchen menace, constructive, digging, farming, not great. Joshua with caregiving, hard digging, undigging, cooking. That completely nullifies itself. And a Hassan with suit wearing, digging, farming, critter ranching, interior decorator, and sleeper. Meh? Not terrible, but not good either. Let me go back over here. Time hatches here. There's main base right now. It still goes. Okay, Talon, we've already got that thing going. Stella is still gathering, right? Our capacity 6.8. Yep. You should be back soon. How's Talon going? Ooh, all device. Can't really process it here. That's fine. Gene, can you actually head back yet? Yeah, you can. Okay. Let's see. Do I need Gene to help me with anything right now? Oh. Our water hit our cap. Sweet. Okay, so the automated system is kicking back on. Good. I'm almost tempted to put a... Hold up. I think this would actually work. Yeah, so I do need a cooling there, but I can... Actually, no. Let me put you in the farthest corner. Mop that up real quick. But we can put liquid pump here. Yeah. Put one there. Keep it lined up there. And add a there. Almost a waste of steel, but not quite. And then, actually, I could just connect this to the primary line. Why does it look like there's crude there? I think there's crude inside this neutronium. That's weird. That's super weird. Yeah, I should be able to impart some of the temperature up here. Utilizing just a pump. And yeah, that's super weird. Okay, we're just going to ignore that and hope nothing wrong happens because of it. We should be fine. Should be fine. Okay. Oh, that's the problem. Okay. Put ceramic there. And temperature's already back down. Yeah, I think we'll just subsume these materials, don't cool it down, and just shove it into our steam room and hope. If I can repurpose the energy output elsewhere, that's just an automatic win. That's all that matters to me. Probably put the polluted water dumping site right there as well. Okay, this is what I want to see. This will eventually break, by the way, so it's not too big of a deal, but the rest of this should all be fully functional. I still don't think this will be enough heat to actually drive the system here. It might be, but I kind of doubt it. Just make that fine. We'll get the second one online. I also need to add at least a little bit of automation here. As long as the pressure is above, I don't know, what, 6 kilograms? And it can run. I will do 7 just in case. Because I just need to vent the steam out of here. This is still not done yet. Actually, let me just lock the door. I don't think I need to vent anymore. It's above 7,000. Then you may run. Because the second it hits oxygen levels, they'll be spread out too much. So that'll keep it from ever sucking up anything but that. Might pull in some polluted oxygen. It'll be very limited. I just need this stuff cleaned out of here. It's really just not transferring temperature at all. Probably just need to add more water. If I can get that below 275, I can just vent it straight through. But that'll require cleaning this out, then venting this back in, and cleaning it out one more time, and then that should do it. And that should hopefully spur this thing on. Not enough heat. We're over 90, 80. It's getting closer. I just need all that to vaporize. That's really the big problem. I was venting this monstrosity of a 1-2 pump. Slowly but surely, we'll get through it. Alright, let's vent some of the CO2 as well. Get rid of it. I wish I had more space on the left. So I could put it there. There's no real room unless I bring this one down. That's great. Let's just seal that in. Just need it distributed differently. Yeah, so I should probably just shove this through this system, let it filter itself. Then that would require me to do this. That. Branch this one over here. I can branch that, link those two together, or I can branch it over. Yeah, we'll do that. I need to separate those, connect that there. That. Gas bridge. So. You. And oops, I know it's hot. Come on. Get the bridge done. We only want steam in this room, and the CO2 can just be removed over time. There we go. Should bring the temperatures down across the board. Yep. Okay. That's now all nice and working, so don't think about it. We should get more water getting into the system a little bit, but the automated water gathering is all working. 5 more cycles of that. Volume is going perfectly fine. This is dormant for another 17 cycles. I think it's time we seal it back in for the time being. Okay, so that'll get done there. Before L protection is working fine. All of these should run together, so I don't think about it. So it's all working. You should actually have enough fuel to get back. Gene, I think you're kind of done here for the time being, so now that everything's been sorted. Still need some more super coolant, but that's really about it. I should reconnect this though. That one. You. Now we've got all of our power back. Being you all good to go? Yeah, you're all good to go. Launch the rocket when you're ready, buddy. And there's our rocket launch. We'll send him back to main base with the artifact. Get it all nice and sorted. We'll probably send him back to Butown for another quick refill. And then hit up the other points of interest so we can get all of the artifacts off the list. Because that's the other achievement that needs to be done. Once we get those finished, we should be pretty good to just push for Mine the Gap tonight. Just constantly launch rockets. Okay, Sputnik's already done, so they can begin their trip back. 7.9 cycles. Ugh. Rough every time. Okay, I redirect all of these. Okay, cool. And to make sure we still have all of our liquids. Still have to tap this oil reservoir and this one. I don't actually know if we have enough water for this. I think we do. But I'm not completely convinced. Also, I should probably insulate this. We're at the point where it's like, we've got a lot of water now. I need to probably insulate these. Actually, how cold are you? Ooh, negative 39. Okay. Let's not accidentally do a stupid maneuver and use the radiant pipe. It's going to use 2 regular pipes. Yeah, actually, probably only need 1 for this. If I want to impart some of the cooling and take the heat from the steam that we're converting into water and just dump it into this room for power purposes. We really don't need our water to be coming out at like 40 degrees. It's like, a little warm. Not terrible, but definitely warm. What's Alan doing? Otherwise, they're doing okay. Gotta make sure. Are we still dumping water into the system? Yep. Okay, all of our water is good over here at main base. So Stella's on the way back. Jean is on the way back. Sorted this system. Magnet is working. Wait a minute. Why did that not open the door? Okay. Just like, wait a minute. Why didn't you work? Strange, but okay. Yeah, petroleum is going at full tilt. slowly making positive petroleum, and we're still making positive water. As long as that continues, it should be okay. My little power brick is fully functional. Petroleum is being sent over to Croydal. That should go through the entire filter system. We don't really have space. I am literally filtering petroleum through our water supply and then sending that through to the generator while the rest of the water gets sent off to be utilized here. Oh. Okay. I can probably run one of these now. But only one. Now the bigger problem, obviously, is I do need to clean up the solar panels. That way this can be opened. I don't need to worry about radiating the heck out of that. I don't remember if that one actually needs to be... we're gonna find out in a second. I think it does, only because it's taking one tile too much. You still obstructed? One's gotta go as well. Like a thief's just having a moment. There we go. Charging progress 25%. So yeah, Rift will be done soon. Or at least open soon. Yeah, all of our oxygen is pushed down. All of the CO2 is pushed down. That's fine. All vented. I gotta clean the rest of this up. I almost tempted to just vent this into this room. Just to get rid of it. Very tempting. I need more water in this chamber here. That way we can have more temperature transfer and I don't have to think about it. That's one of the bigger issues that we've got to deal with, is just to add more thermal mass. Didn't have to worry about the neutronium or how tight I have to make this. This would be a lot easier to work with. Could also just put water in there, but then that's just gonna make more of a problem. Most of this is going to be converting into water here shortly because it's losing its temperature. I just need this chamber to warm up. It's slowly gaining energy. Such a pain. Once it stabilizes, then you don't have to think about it. You just get a giant steam battery, and it's like, hooray! Till then, it's pain. Nope. That was the end of our battery on that run. It got us 1%. Because the area is not warmed up yet. It's slowly getting there. We're in 10. We gotta get 124. The total amount of energy, if I remember correctly, should be about 3 degrees per volcano cycle. For this much mass. It's not much, but it's enough. Oh, she's too lame. Nice. Something I'm sure we don't have yet. Okay, well, let's turn off the red bolts here. Here. Yeah, it's gonna stop soon. Yeah, it's all gonna end up turning back into regular water in that room. It'll be hot, somewhat. About 38 degrees, because most of this will end up like state changing back down, and oxygen will take its place. Probably just remove this again, and then allow more steam to come into the room so we can just vent more of it into there. It's still too hot for me to put a steam turbine, or sorry, not a steam turbine, but a gas pump in here. It's got to be below 275. Ah. Should be able to just let them do that one. That's just going to keep spewing petroleum, which is always good. Erupting in 30 seconds. You guys are going there. How's Tripola doing? I need to check on Tripola. Keep forgetting. It's like, gotta check on the humongous horde of puffs. You are enabled. Why are you not moving? Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna leave it alone. It should be fine. The dupes are taking sweet time on this one. Max priority, all of that. You are still set to only. Good. Let's check this one. Marvags. I'm almost tempted to just spawn them here. See how long they last. Or so they could do anything at all in the first place. Well, we've gotten the temperature around it down considerably. This is almost safe to walk all the way up here yet. We're very close. Still safe. That one is not. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, so from here onward we can't touch. Dupes. Need someone to come up here and poke a hole there. So we have 3 venting sites. I could also probably poke a hole here and just let it vent straight up. I have a feeling this might melt some of my plastic if I'm not careful. Is there a better spot? Not seeing it. I do not have the materials for this. Okay, so that's all venting now. We're getting a little bit of sulfur gas. Most of it's just going to fall down here and turn into liquid and then solid. Not that big of a deal. Yeah, 337. Temperature down here. Yep, temperature over here is below that. So it's over here and above, kind of like in a that way and that way. It will stay as a gas, but as it falls, it goes this way, it'll cool down and then turn into a liquid. And it'll probably just pool down here. Fine. 2 tiles, so it's safe. And the fun part begins. I need to add a button that can survive this. Yeah, I need to vent the sulfur into space. Because we're literally using the sulfur geyser to cool the place. Oh, triple, Guys not get the job done over here yet? You almost have. Outfall bladder. Pencil, 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 pencil. Get to the toilets. Run, my guy. You're on your way back. Pretty sure Gene has already landed. Means we need to immediately start refilling the rocket. Grab the artifact. Oh, nope, never mind. It's already ready. Okay, cool. Very good news, actually. 64 cycles available. Okay, you're going to Gilded. There you go. Everything else is working out okay. I need to make sure methane is on the list. The solid methane. Methane, are you not liquefiables? Consumable. Okay. I was to say, I'm like, are you not liquefiables? Let me lower the priority on this. Set the priority on the door to 1. Back to Tripola. I know you're probably going to piss yourself, so that's fine. See if you can make it. Come on, Ricaria. Come on. And we had CO2 build up? Ow. The dupe stand underneath the vent? That's the only way I could think of. Because CO2 would just be skimming the bottom. Let's see if our dupe makes it to the toilet. Yep, they did. Now I do need to wrangle you guys. I forgot about the plug slugs. Actually, if I remember, I think I did actually order them to sweep it. They just didn't. Okay. You two need to go there. And a pronto. Grab that one. Grab that one, please, when you get a sec. Okay. Grab the other one. Get that plugged in. I'll poke a hole here, and then we'll start releasing the gases. Oh, there it is. Weirdly enough, this is actually quite effective. Mostly because it actually has an okay specific heat capacity. It isn't great, it's just good. If I had a lot of extra water here, I would just burn it through this process. But we don't actually have that much excess water, so we don't really have that opportunity. We get another nice shipment of copper. Should be able to get that started. Deployment device. Okay, we can stop sending copper through there. Bean's rocket is already almost completely filled. Should be the last. There we go. Okay. Crew. Stations. You have food. You're already ready to go. Sorry, Jane. I know that you were probably eating or doing something, but off you go. We have rockets to assist with. I know. Eating your rocket. You've got time. Come on, bud. Hit the button. Okay, cool. Off they go. Okay, that is now of proper temperature. Means I can do this. And this. Probably keep it within accessible ranges of the boots. Steel. Oh, and lock that door when you guys get a sec. You don't need to vent anymore in there. Okay, we should be able to get the steam out of there, vent it all on up here. Have a little bit of polluted oxygen, other stuff coming in. Revent that shortly. There's enough space in the corner, so it should be fine. I know it's hot, guys. Thankfully, it's only about 188 degrees in there. And you're in suits that can survive 1,100, so you'll be fine. Hey, come on. Insulated tile in. Good. Okay. Now the rest of this should be pretty easy. That, I could do a physical filter, but I'm just gonna say screw it. We can waste some power, it's fine. Tungsten. bigger problem is I need a place. No oxygen. Really don't have one. Unbreathable gas. Steam. Far from that. There, I could just go up and vent it to space. Oh. Toilet's having a problem? No. Someone just didn't make it to the toilet yet? Being a toilet warning, but not actually having any other problems. Hopefully we can get negative 200 in there again, then we should be good. Check on Friedel real quick. So much petroleum. Okay. How many more payloads are in here? None. Oh yeah, he's currently cooking because he has to cook up, how many? 1,710. Okay. Go, buddy, go. You have buns to make. Lots and lots and lots of them. That should just be dumping straight down. I think we're in the green over here on Friedel here. Probably need to send over a lot of igneous rock. I just high priority that. Yep. Okay. Gene's on their way. Bella's on their way back. Oops. I need you. You are no longer needed. All of these middle doors need to be broken down. Plastic tile on each of them. Scoot that out of there, dupes. You, and you. Okay, that's good. As long as water is being consumed, that's all that matters at this point. Probably don't need to send any more petroleum for a little while. I think. Dupes, fire priority on that, please. Thank you. Okay, that. Add another door there. Okay, good. That up. These. And... Cactus. Freaking morons. Don't think I didn't notice, you goddamn dupes. Of course you guys would do that. Okay. All of our natural tiles done here. And this row is done. Just gotta get it all nice and cleaned up. Bird. Ah, it's because he was standing in the doorway. Yep. Why you gotta do this to me? Why? It went like brain dead mode, and it's like, dude, don't stand in the doorway. Oh, we were almost done, and then and Vern did the stupid maneuver. We were this close. One clean strip, no problems. Do I get it? No. Oh, I do. Just ugh. Erp de derp de derp. Do not use that. Yes, rock. I'll just do that for now. Set all of these 9. And then when we get more shipments of materials over here, we should be able to build the rest. Guess they're gonna take their time then. Let's see. That's all nice and preloaded. Nope, you need to be there. Okay, I am going to go to the bathroom real quick. So let me pop that up. It's currently 2 because we were having technical issues pretty much for the first 2 hours of what would have been the stream tonight, and then we had a power outage. So I would take my break right about now, but I definitely need to go use the restroom, so I shall just let the system go and hopefully vent that. So here be, guys. I am back. Yep. Turn that off. Water bottle. There we go. This should be coming out. 95 going in. 180-ish going out. Okay. That's good enough for me. Ah, still not enough materials. Can't really let the system do its thing until this is cleaned. This is filled. And the steam and polluted oxygen is sorted. As well as any other gas for that matter. Oh, water's cold again. I just need to set an actual override on this. Means I need to rotate this one. Actually, technically what I need to do is I need to take this input and put it on this one. So whenever it gets cold, it'll swap it. And I need an always on input for the other one. Okay, the problem with that is I need to go like this. I need to separate it, and sadly I can't put one there. This is the bigger problem. In theory, though, I could just put the cycle sensor here. And that over there. As long as that's above 60, that's all that matters. If it gets stuck, then I need it to cycle once. Otherwise there won't be enough hot water in the actual hot tub for it to run. Yes, a squeaky puffed, thank goodness, finally. You guys get a barbecue, because why not? Fine by me. Are we out of igneous rocket home base? No. No, we are not. Mild confusion? This thing is rock, right? Yeah. Let me do this. Do that again. Then max priority. Low priority, okay. Crap. I need that. I need it. I really gotta get this sorted as well. kilograms. Slowly cooling down still. Still getting steam coming out. Nope, no pending deliveries. Interesting. Okay. We'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way of mark everything. And hope your dupes enjoy doing sweep only. Just in case. Like this shouldn't have. Duties there. Nope. Yeah, we have a mug problem. I wish they would give you randomization instead of just all office bugs, but there's really nothing I can do about on that one. So we did just get Moldavite. Museum grade Moldavite once sat at the desk of Dr. Ren Sato, but it was stolen by some unknown person. Suspected the perpetrator was none other than Director Stern, but was never able to confirm his theory. What is your decor range? Moldavite is only 20. Okay, where do we want to put it? Because we can totally shove it somewhere, I just don't know where to put it. I guess right here? Yeah. Eeny, meeny, miny. Probably shove it here. I do have dupes going through there. It doesn't really matter because they're already getting like completely decor bombed. So it doesn't really matter where you put it. It's just like, where do I want it from a decorative standpoint for myself? As for the dupes, it doesn't mean squat. And they're like, oh, we have 0 igneous rock. Game, we have a ton of it down at the bottom. Nine tons. Just in one piece. 6 tons. 7 tons. 7.2 tons. You have access to this. Do you? No, we do. Hold up. I need to check Pathfinder. That's a different end. That's like an actual different. Probably Sandbridge. Good check. We're all allowed to go through there. Where's Sandbridge? Okay, and I want to see navigation. Oh, it's because we had ice buildup. That was the problem. 34.7 grams. Probably unload and I didn't even notice. Okay, now we have all of it back. And all the other obsidian and everything else. We'll probably do not sweep only and keep that as a 9. And we need to move the Mordite over here. Sorry, Moldavite. Nope. Okay. Looks like Bella's rocket is back. Modern art. Okay. For one. Slightly, though. Bella, you know you don't need to stay in the rocket the entire time, right? I mean, I approve of your desire to do so, but you jump off your payload before you do anything. I wanna. Well, actually, no. If I shove the methane in here, it's gonna be a problem. Because it will probably push the crude oil that's keeping the liquid lock. Not such a good idea. Alright, I need to drain the system here so I can... I need all of this out of here. Alright, below 800 though. Good. We're gonna go back up because I'm pumping more and more kilograms of water into here. Okay. That should be able to drain. Are we getting igneous rock up to the system? That's what I need right now. Oops. Please bring igneous rock. Current errors. Okay, there we go. That's what I want to see. Probably stop trying to sweep all those manually. I get 228. Once it's 250, I'll switch the cooling back on. As that lasts a very long time to a point where I don't have to worry about it. Let's see if we're still this next target. That'll work. We already refilled the nose cone. Good. They're still dumping materials. Once the rocket's refueled, we'll do an immediate launch. Okay. Still looking very, very good. Functioning. Oh, one sec. Sorry about that. Whoa. The vent turned on and immediately was just like, hey! Oh god. Oh no. Not the dust. You know what? wanted to do 250 for super coolant. I need to switch it. Okay. That means we do this. One more. Nope. Not that. That. And there we go. Okay. Our cooling going again. Run for a long time. Rockets already fueled. Food has been restocked. Alexander. Welcome back. Currently moving lots and lots of materials. Actually, how close are we now? Let's see. I don't know. Mind the gap. 100,000 kilograms to go. Almost on the dot. Abject pain. That's what Mind the Gap is. Yes, welcome to the base. If you've been watching on the playlist, it's been, yeah. Yeah, for the most part. Right now, let me just pull up my specs here real quick. I want to see how much oxygen not included right now is taking from memory. Because ONI is CPU bottlenecked and memory bottlenecked for the most part. The GPUs are barely being used. Yeah, right now ONI is taking 66.7% of my memory. And I have 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM. Yeah, ONI is a bit of a power hog. That's an understatement. Yeah. CPU-wise, it is currently, by itself, running 33% of my CPU. OBS is running 17. So, as a fellow streamer, I'm pretty sure you know how much that's draining. Try it now that I install more RAM. Yes, as long as it has enough memory, it will be able to handle it. Like, that's really the big thing. GPU-wise, it's only using one of my GPUs at 4.4%. And borderline unplayable? Yeah. Yeah, you really have to push your RAM up. It sucks. It's the only problem with ONI. Is it runs on Unity. And with, especially with the DLC, with how much data is being operated simultaneously within the memory for all of your planets, it's definitely rough. I think the biggest issue that we still have to deal with on Oxygen Not Included side is the Schrodinger's cat syndrome. When you're not focused in on a planet, the game is optimized to only run the essential objects, like for culling purposes. But the problem is that you can end up having issues where you have, like, my poke shells, for instance, over this entire playthrough from patch to patch. Sometimes we have what I would classify as Schrodinger's cat syndrome, where your poke shells are technically quantumly tunneled. When I turn off this planet and go look at another one, like say I'm over here just making sure all my gases are moving around and I'm cleaning up all my sulfur here and trying to cool that area down, my crabs can actually end up calculating through this floor. The game calculates everything on layers, and the problem is when it does the layering, poke shells are creatures. When the game shrinks, dupes are counted on the same layer. And then tiles don't really get calculated until you come back to look at them, because of just how the game does the culling to make it so that way it doesn't nuke your memory into the ground. And the problem with that, though, is now your poke shells technically have access to your duplicates. So if they're angry all the time, or even part of the time, they can reach through walls and hit your dupes. Yeah, the chaotic stuff definitely happens. Also, I would say the biggest issues that we have is teleporting materials, teleporting creatures, or stuff that can go through walls because they're on a different layer. And then the other issue would be state changes on save and load. When you save the game and then load the game, sometimes stuff can break, and you will see like minor damage here and there because the game is flash calculating the temperatures of liquids in pipes and gases in vents. And sometimes those gases could be right on the threshold of state changing, but they're not actually state changing. And then when you save the game, when you reload it, it immediately goes, wait, that gas should have state changed, and then it breaks your pipe. I think the bigger issue, obviously, for me right now has been the teleporting resources and just the periodic issues that we've had to run into over patches. But thankfully, most of my stuff is, like, designed to handle it. It's just that it's one of those, you have to think about it on a level where it's like, oh yes, we had igneous rock teleport in here a while back, like just a couple episodes ago. And it was like, how? I go to the material overlay, diamond, obsidian, steel, everything is sealed. This somehow, like a piece from in here got in there, and it went through the wall. And I was just like, what the fuck? How is there magma in the boiler? Like, it went through solid diamond. Explain. And the game's just like, I don't know. Physics. Damn you, Clay. Damn you. But yes, this is my petroleum boiler and phosphorus boiler. A couple patches ago, they added the lab. And when they added the lab, they actually made a purpose for melting phosphate. And yes, it is perfectly compacted to the neutronium. I still got to get all of this obsidian out of here, so eventually when I get time for the boiler to run it through its course and we can deal with the volcano, then I will get all that cleaned up. But you probably have never seen one of these because I don't know anyone else who's ever built one yet. But this is a phosphorus boiler. Able to be that small because the volcano is outputting a lot of magma? Yes. So you can either use a thermium aqua tuner. So whenever you get niobium from the magma world, from like this one, if you get any niobium from this one, you can end up making a thermium setup, so you don't need a volcano. You go back to butelin. And all you have to do is put the aqua tuner in here, and it would do the same exact thing. Thing we have not really tamed the volcano planet, even though I do need to for my primary goals for the actual playthrough. Boilers, I would say most boilers are just going to be about this compact anyway. The other thing you got to pay attention to is if you're using aluminum, make sure that you insulate the first 4. And then keep it risen. Because sometimes this thing, when you save and load the game, if there was crude oil falling, then sometimes the game will push up this before it state changes it, and then you can end up having like 406 degree petroleum get pushed up here and then start destroying your pipes. But that's really about the only real major issue. I think it's startup and cooldown are really the only 2 problems when you're first building a petroleum boiler. Because if you put too much crude in, then this wall will break. Thankfully it doesn't normally break this one, but it's just, this is the one that always breaks because it always goes bottom right. Playing it just like base ONI because I got scared when I first tried to go to another planet. That's fair. I would say the one thing you do need to remember when working with rockets, there's like 2 ways to go about it. Make sure you have spare suits at all times. Internally, pipes are storage. So just as a heads up, if you're not melting the rockets, of course. But pipes are storage, so utilize your gas pipes, utilize your water pipes, all the space that you get. Because all of them, this is actually an easy way of maintaining cooling as well. But each of these is 10 kilograms of water. This is the only one that I'm launching it specifically for research. So it's literally the crappy CO2 rocket. We haven't touched this one like in forever. I do need to actually finish my research for the achievement, but it's been like, I don't care about hydrogen rockets ever since they gave us nuclear, so there's been no need, at least at this point. Also, I do need to get Stella to launch her rocket. You can also build into the walls, so that's not really a big deal. The only other thing I would say is the only two things that matter in a rocket is having a great hull and a washroom. I teleporters but forgot to consider duplicate stress. Oh, yeah. Yeah, be careful of the teleporters. But yeah, if you're doing actual rocket launches, just know that the only real two main things is washroom for bathroom and great hall. And you can actually just leave the dupes in the suits. Their suits will run out of oxygen, but as long as the environment itself is oxygenated, then you're actually okay. Oh, you've never seen the insides of the rockets yet? Yeah, for just like a basic launch system, this is pretty much all you need. You do have to worry about a little bit of radiation, hence the plastic up here. But the main thing that you're really having to worry about if you're not melting the rockets is the amount of space and duplicate access. So if I hit follow cam and then show navigation, you'll notice that my dupes can they can climb 2 tiles and they can also climb up doorways. So if I go over to, should be Sputnik 4, I think. No, there's Apollo. Hello, Gene. Gene, I need to borrow you for a second. Show me my navigation. So using doors, your dupes can climb 2. So they can get here, 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 and here by just climbing the door. So you don't actually need to use that many ladders inside of a rocket if you're just utilizing doors. And this also keeps the washroom and the Great Hall side areas open. The only other thing I could say is if you ever need it, like if you're playing in ultra hard mode with like max stress and everything else, instead of just, we always do baseline ONI here, at least on my channel, so that way everyone has at least a base understanding of like the difficulty curve. But if you need to, you can just remove the rocket control station, and you can technically, if you brought the materials with you in a storage container, you can just go into medicine and slap down a massage table. It takes up the same space, you just need a little bit more power, and if you're ever like in dire straits of needing a stress relief, you can just throw it into this room. And the only thing I think, if I remember right, I would need to remove this vent, and then that would make it a massage room, so you get the extra bonus. But that's about it. I mess all bathroom and that. They don't need beds. When dealing with CO2, you'll notice there is no CO2 in this rocket, except for that one tile when my dupe accidentally took his suit off once. When dupes are actually in their suits, they don't actually exhale anything. They also don't actually consume oxygen. You'll notice there is no drop. One of the little quirky things is when a dupe is just maintaining in a suit, as long as they have access to a bathroom, they literally do not need to care about anything. Because they're pretty much only having to worry about food and bathroom, so they don't soil themselves. They do not exhale CO2, and they do not consume O2, even when their suit is out. It's just a quirk of how the layer system works. When your dupes are in a suit, they're actually on their own independent layer, and the game only cares if they have access to an environment that has O2. That's it. If you ever actually need to push for CO2 and O2, then you can do this one. I go into here. We're currently at 23.4 kilograms worth of oxygen. And the CO2 is actually about 41 kilograms. But because the pressure is so vast, I just don't care. You can literally overpressurize your rockets without really any care in the world. And if you really want to, you can just shove oxalate in here and then just be about your merry way. The biggest issue, obviously, is maintaining fridges. At least with temperatures. Though I will say, when they added in the spicing mechanic, it definitely changed a lot because it made it so that way you can just kind of cheese your way through a lot of things just using freshener spice. Freshener spice is just it's 0.1 units of a mealwood seed and salt. So now you can have mealwood in space and not care. Most people just go for berry sludge anyway and just naturally plant a bunch of other stuff for it. But I've always just been like, I don't care. Just take the garbage food. Like, just slap a little spice on it and problem solved. So really the only two main things you got to think about is fuel distance, food, and bathroom. And then having the spare suits when you want to land on something. Because when you're landing on a planet, you will need Trailblazer modules. Most likely, I would say, whenever you're landing on a planet, especially for a new player, or at least someone who hasn't done rockets yet, you want to have 2 Trailblazer modules, and you want to have 2 of the rover modules. So you'll want to launch 2 rockets together. Where's the rover module? There it is. And one of these. But normally I always do a double rocket launch, and then I have the guy taking the rovers head back first, and then I have both the rovers land, send the rover rocket back, then deploy the Trailblazer modules, and save every time. Every time you land a module onto a planet, save the game. Main reason being is there are instances where Trailblazer modules can land with a duplicate inside of it, and then the duplicate just disappears. They're still counted as alive, they don't exist anymore. So make sure you save. That can also happen to your rovers. Like, the rover could deploy, you could see him getting out of the actual landing craft, and then he just disappears out into nothingness. And it's like, where did he go? What happened? And it's just, well, he just phased out of existence, because technically speaking, he's now falling through the map. And normally they would teleport back on up. Like, if a dupe ever actually falls off a map, say you're, like, you go into debug mode, you delete the neutronium, and you make a dupe fall, they will just appear next to the printing pod, because the game goes, oh, well, that was a bug, and just tries to pop them back into existence. But when they fall out of a rocket's actual one of these, trailblazing modules, they just poof, and no idea where they went. Just reload the save and then do it again. But that is something to pay attention to, so whenever you're doing rocket landings, always save. Just as a precaution, yeah. Hey, enemy seers, I'll come back. Here to chill out and pass out. That's fair. You always do that. Okay, let's see. I need to lower the priority here. You're still locked in, right? Yes. I will say this. You will probably want to build one of these. As long as you're doing the DLC, you will probably want one of these nuclear cores. Technically a particle accelerator. And when you start it off, you end up using 2 rad bolt generators and colliding them in the middle to create nuclear waste. Obviously, this is before you get to the research reactor. And should I back up? Do this. Research reactor is about 10,519 reds. Give or take. And over here we are at 101,635 reds. Them sleeping without noise? Yeah, that's fair. You'll notice that right now we are getting 15,000 reds per cycle on this generator, 15 on that one, 10 and 10. These ones are actually outside the reach just slightly, like the bottom down here, but the detectors are still in reach, so they're getting about 11. You can put one here and here, and this will end up generating around, let's see, what, 5k? And it's about 5,000 rad bolts per cycle. If you want to put 2 in here. I am utilizing the rad bolt reflectors and just slamming them into the corners, and that actually ends up creating nuclear waste, as you can see. You can either have the rad bolts collide with each other or hit the corner of a tile between airflow and a regular one, as you can see. This ends up generating pretty much, what? All 4 of these is like 1.4 times a rocket. The waste right now is actually being shoved all back into the system. So, to make a compression chamber like this, what you do is you use airflow tiles or you use manual doors. Not mechanized. You want to do the manual airlocks. One of these. And what you do is you have regular fluid pipe input there. You put nuclear waste on the bottom, and then you put any other fluid that won't vaporize on top of it. Let me go over here. If you do this, go to liquid, you'll notice that we have 200 kilograms worth of naphtha, and then 24,600 kilograms worth of nuclear waste. You only need about well, the bare minimum is 80 kilograms. I don't recommend it. I normally do 200. 200 is a little bit easier to obtain because it's about the capsule size of a payload. So in most cases, you can easily just send the 200 over and then put the nuclear waste on the bottom and then put your fluid on top. That'll be used as your cap. And that's how you hyper-compress fluids. But for nuclear waste, this is one of the easiest ways of dealing with it. I know a lot of people like to use a duplication bug for this stuff. I have done my best not to use it and just use the in-game compression mechanics with how the game actually factors fluids and gases. You can only have one type of element on one tile. So this makes it so that way this actual liquid vent will never overfill. So it will never stop leaking fluids whenever we send stuff through it, because there's only 200 kilograms. The game only calculates this tile for this vent. So all of the other fluids conjugate underneath it. And that's what allows it to reach actual refueling status. As you can see, this is about 4, that's 2,000, 2,000, and that's pushing, I turn it on for a sec, at 208, and we can turn that one on, and there's also 208. And there we go. But yeah, these are my nuclear rocket refueling stations. I've been slowly getting them all nice and built out. As you can see, over here we are sitting at 8,000. I do need to add one over here on Rudabo for refueling the nuclear rockets. I need to finish this one on Drapola. And the main reason being that we need to do that for Drapola is... where is it? Yeah. The sheer amount of cobalt and gold that we have here. I don't know if you've seen a base with this much gold in it, but yeah. Right now we have 2 gold volcanoes fully active. I need to get the other cobalt volcano online. I just haven't done it because, well, it's producing too much already. So it's not really that big of an issue. I do kind of feel like adding more gold to the situation, which is why we have started doing the geotuner. Geotuner utilizes refined phosphorus, which is why I made the petroleum boiler plus a refined phosphorus boiler on Butalin. But the main thing is when they added the geotuners, you can increase the temperature of the volcano slightly, and it will output a significant increase in the amount of fluids / gases that they actually output. And if I remember right, you can put 5 geotuners onto one point of interest. Downside is 5 geotuners is a massive lab. So if you're trying to make a laboratory for the extra speed boost from the efficiency gains, minimum is 32, maximum is 120. That's 5 per. These things are not small. So, yeah. Definitely have to think about how you're going to set up your actual labs if you're going to run max burn on, say, like a niobium volcano, a gold volcano, etc., etc. And for reference, this is the radiator that I'm using to drain the heat from the metals as they're going through. So we have our cobalt volcano done here, gold here, and another cobalt there. And all of that goes through this massive radiator. And that's sent all the way on up here, dumped off here. And then the excess materials are actually manually dropped off by the dupes. And that is currently sent up here. Which, once I get this thing online, these ones will also be able to help with the interplanetary launcher, so we can start distributing gold in a much more easy fashion. I don't need to send rockets all over the place. And obviously this base is like 90% gold and a little bit of cobalt here and there, as you can see. Also, let me check the principles real quick. Ooh, a snazzy suit. Who doesn't have a snazzy suit? Actually, no, that's just a baseline, right? Yeah, damn it. One sec. I need to actually spawn this over here, and we can go craft a better suit. The other two tubes were definitely off the list. I am seeing what's going on with this. Oh, we've got a little water in there. And it'll be fine. Yes. As noted, I do prefer my pips over pretty much everything else. We have plenty of pips in there. The primary room, which, by the way, there is a trick with this. So my rec room is here. Whenever the dupes are not doing anything, they just come in here, like no problems. But if you leave the doors open, you put a nature reserve for the dupes to eat, and the stable on the other side. The pips will naturally congregate into this side, and in the process, the cuddle pips, whenever they end up hatching in this area, the pips will just automatically hit them. So you don't have to worry about them ever needing hugs or anything, because your dupes will always be here to do it. So just remember, rec room in the middle, food on one side, stable on the other. I do too. I love the little pips. I'm still sad that they never released a pip plushie. They did the freaking puffs. It's like, Cly, what do you mean? Look at these little things. Like, sure, the cuddle ones are a little bit freakier than the regular ones, but that's because their eyes are... I don't even know what to describe that one. But yes, sure, the regular pips are like beady, but it's like, eh. Yeah, I know. To be fair, yeah, pups are definitely an easier thing to make. But they only made the regular ones. They didn't even make the squeaky ones. Well, they're rounded, but they gave them like a little like button eyeball looking thing. As you can see, they got the little extra like highlights on it. And when they're bouncing around, let me see if I can find one that's bouncing right now. Do you have any cuddle pips that want hugs right now? Oh, the one time where I needed to see you guys actually doing your action. That's the extra sparkles, exactly. Yeah, when they're bouncing around for a hug, it's definitely one of those like, eh. Regular pips, no problems. I love the little things. The cuddle ones are a little weird. Yeah, none of them are activated. And you got the little pipsqueaks who've got the same kind of thing going on. And they turn into the regular ones. Yeah. Dang you, cuddle pips. I wanted one of you to be like, I want a hug. And then there's just none. The one time. Yeah, for the most part, everything else is taken care of. I also like the Drekos. Like, the glossy ones are a personal favorite of mine. Now then, let's head back to Kellen real quick. We got any more shipments? Yes, we did. Okay, cool. I need to just vent the rest of this. Yep. The only one that we can't get is because the Cuddle Pips were technically not released yet. Which is actually very sad. We missed Carnivore by a little bit, and we used every trick in the book to try to get it. But the map seed ended up only with one hatch to start. So we missed it just barely. We're missing Moving On Up, because you want to save that one for last. Gassy moves are very laggy, and you do not want to unlock the planet until it's ready. We're missing Critter Whisperer, because we need Gassy Moo and Pokeshell. Pokeshell I can easily get on any of my planets at this point. Honorary Directorate, the last research I haven't finished. We have the Great Escape, which we have the rift identified. We have the rift generator open. It just needs power. Cosmic archaeology is the only other real issue, and that's retrieving all the terrestrial artifacts from all the planets. Not hard to do once we've gotten everything like sorted and the magma planet is cooled down. The water world, I just have to make a ladder all the way down, and then we can get everything there. So that's not a big deal. Get a room. I still need to build a hospital at some point and a luxury barracks. Tubular is done. 1 year to be exact. That was completed a long time ago. Finally, 2 machines. I just need to expand the steam room on the main base and put in 1 tuner, and that'll do it in a single turn probably, like 1 single cycle. Down the hatch, that's just getting the regular hatches that I keep growing and turn them 1 into a smooth hatch, give them some copper, problem solved. Job suitability is probably the bigger problem. I will put every single dupe into an exosuit and just have them run around in the base. So that won't really be that much of an issue, but it will be kind of taxing for 10 cycles. The teleport, we're waiting to finish our space station, and for anyone else that is new to this series, there's 2 primary objectives that I have. One is the defrosted dupe takes the rocket that we build for him, the space station that we build, and he takes it to the rift. We only defrost him when the space station is done, over his planet, and he is capable of immediately going into it, and then we send him through for his mission, because he's been here for 2,780 plus cycles now in a cryotube. He's going to complete his mission whether he wants to or not. The other mission objective is I have to put a hot tub that works on every planet at the same time. That includes the gassy moon planet, which is why I always save it for last. But I've done this every single time, and it's one of those, we gotta do it. And obviously we have Mine the Gap and Cluster Conquest, which is gassy moon planet and magma planet. Sadly, I still have to go land on the water world before that gets actually completed, in my personal opinion. We had a bug where one of our atmosuits ended up teleporting onto the water world, and when the dupes went to pick it up on main base, it actually discovered the water world, which means that one actually counted for the achievement. I still don't count it. I have to actually build a base there anyway, so once we actually push for that one, that's when we'll get it done. And then the last and most annoying one in the entire bunch, in my personal opinion, besides Carnivore, is GM A-OK. Oh boy, do I hate this one. Mostly because I have to go find a Nosh Sprout. And the gas grass. Hopefully, crossing fingers, hopefully the gas grass, when we get to the other planet with the gassy moos, there will be a mutant one laying there that may or may not spawn in. That's the hope. Like, I'm really crossing my fingers here and just being like, please just already be mutated. Make it so I don't have to think about it. Just do it. Make my life easier, please. Yeah, I know. I think it was it over 60 cycles? No. I think it was almost over 70 cycles for a pinch of pepper nut. And this thing is, well, irradiated to hell. Oh boy. That took a long time to get one of those. I still need to do, let's see. Can't mutate arbor trees, sadly. So the main thing with the plants right now is once you get one, you can actually duplicate it. And I don't think they're ever going to fix it. But the thing is, once you get, say, like, I wanted exuberant sleetwheat all across here, and I really didn't care if I was using the bug or not, you can technically get this autosweeper to store the seed in here, and as it's placing the seed inside, you can actually disable it, and it will pop out a fraction of a seed. And then you can plant both fractions, which then duplicates the plant. It's pretty much just like taking a plant cutting. Like, I know it's technically not intended, but the devs have pretty much been completely silent on it and being like, I mean, it kind of makes sense. And it's like, okay then. But you can actually split seeds into pieces, which then allows you to plant each of the pieces and then the plant grows back. So you can technically duplicate nuclear like actual nuclear plants. It's just trying to get one in the very beginning is a pain in the butt. Obviously, sleetweed's probably going to be the easiest one that you can get, especially early, because they hit the radiation here. Sleetweed spawns next to our good old little friends, the Wheezeworts. And Wheezeworts now emit radiation. A tiny amount, but it's enough. And over time, you just kind of end up with nuclear plants, just in general. I also probably should still keep cleaning this area up. I've just mostly been letting it do whatever, literally do whatever at this point. But yeah, in general, you're probably going to end up with sleetweed being the first mutated plant that you run into, and maybe some mealwood. Oh yeah. So you can actually, once you get this thing researched, you could just set it for all of these automatically. Yeah, that too. But you can, if I remember correctly, disable, allow mutants. If you hit allow mutants, like if it shows like this, then your dupes will not take mutant plants. If I hit this, then now they're taking mutant plants. But just make sure that you set it for forbid, and then you're good to go. Yeah, they added it in when they finalized mutant plants. Yeah, when they were first testing it, it was not in, and then the first patch, they were like, oh crap, your dupes are taking the mutant plants. And then the next patch, I think it was like 3 weeks after that, then they added the button. I think the only real issue is like for storing purposes. There's no way to select a mutant or a fridge. But if you make sure that your cooks are not taking the mutant plants, then you're good. Because that's the only place that could accidentally delete one. But obviously make sure that you also push the botanical analyzer, because the botanical analyzer will take all the mutants first. So that takes priority automatically over everything else, and just make sure that you never accidentally click the allow mutants button. If you see on your thing it says forbid mutants, hit that immediately. Just out of precaution. Immediately slap that. That way your dupes don't accidentally consume it. Oh, and speaking of teleporting materials, dupes, can you clean that up again? Thank you. Yeah, from time to time we get nuclear waste on this tile. It's actually teleporting through this wall here. Yep. Definitely pay attention to that one, because it can absolutely screw you when trying to push your actual mutant plants here. Also seeing all of our rockets are done, I can turn off the safety mechanism. And we can start sending stuff via the interplanetary launcher again. I will need to insulate a little bit here. All that needs to be insulated. The rest of this can just go. This will only send anything that's not steam out of here. Yeah, at this time, currently working on the tungsten melter system. I gotta get all this cleaned up. In testing, this thing worked. I only tested it though for 25 cycles. I have no idea if this will break after that, or if I actually need to push it beyond that point. So this is actually a 1-2 pump system. I don't know if you've ever seen anything like this. At least, I'd never seen anyone build one this small. Even I fully admit that I'm very concerned about it. Okay, so the main thing with this system is pumps, pull, and a plus symbol. And they pull from like this direction and this, that direction. So if a fluid is sitting here or here, and the pump does not actually have the fluid accessible here, it will not run. The thing is, though, you can actually get a pump to pull resources that are here, such as magma, which is liquid tungsten. And the thing is if you have a drip feed system, such as supercoolant or petroleum. You can drip the actual coolant system on top of the pump, cool it down, number one, and number two, to activate it. You can actually pull magma from these two tiles here without having it touch the actual liquid pump. There's a couple actual builds that were done a while back for massive magma pumpers. Like, they were literally 1-2 pump setups that were just huge. The main reason being is normally you want to only run magma at 8 tiles. Magma can only spread from 8 tiles if it doesn't have a direct source. So, my main goal right now is to get tungsten, liquid tungsten, up to this rocket so I can start melting the floor. And then the walls, and I may melt the ceiling, probably not. But this is going to be the space station that will be taking our frozen duplicate friend to the rift. Now there's 2 ways of melting it. One is either using niobium and tungsten volcanoes, or the other one is utilizing the actual metal refinery and sending... should be utilities. Alright, no. Should be refined. You can take a metal refinery, and you can actually put liquid steel into it and use it as a coolant, and then you can eventually melt the walls. Main reason being is if you're building a space station, if you melt the floor, you gain access to all of these tiles, which means you can build a completely self-sustaining rocket forever. So I can actually add solar panels up here. I can add a nuclear reactor down here if I wanted to. I can add both an oxygen and a water storage. And you can pretty much build your entire base inside of a rocket. We're just going to end up building a space station that should be self-sustaining for at least 200 cycles. And then we're going to put our dupe in and send him through the rift. I will admit this will probably be the last thing that we do. And the main reason I say that is there is a very high likelihood when the rocket touches the rift that it will crash the game. I'm just going to say that bluntly. When you build a space station, that's what happens. It might not, but obviously we will save beforehand. I do have backups of this entire save, so it's not a big deal, but that will be the very final thing that we do. We defrost the dupe, we load him into the rocket, give him his own little suit, give him his own little clothing set, put all of his food, water, and everything else inside the rocket, and see him on his merry way while we take over the rest of the system. And he can go do his original objective, and I don't have to think about it. And he has been sitting here the entire time in the cryo tank. But yes. I hope the game won't crash. There is a very high likelihood of it crashing, but yeah, that is the main goal. But most 1-2 pumps are the best way to put it. If you've ever seen one, I know that Francis John has a video on YouTube about for mega basing, and one of the mega bases was a magma 1-2 pump setup, and it was about yay big because he was utilizing multiple magma blades simultaneously to be able to shift energy around his base. So it was this massive system of like little micro tubes specifically to run liquid pumps and send it all on up. Very, very, very meticulously made. Everything was perfectly timed, and it was really good. But trying to build something that's much smaller that can do the same thing has definitely been problematic. In my lab testing, where I use debug, so I do have a lab world that I do run to make sure stuff is going to work for here on stream. But in lab testing, this works for at least 25 cycles. I didn't push it beyond that, but it was one of those like, I'm going to hope that it can at least last long enough that I can melt the floor, and that's all I need. I think the only real other issue is if I was utilizing liquid steel to do this, and say the game crashed at any point, if I had liquid steel inside of here, there is actually a high likelihood when I save and when I load the game, it might end up breaking or melting the output ports. And if that happens, then we have to revert save. Because if these things break and you launch the rocket, your game will forever crash. So these 4 ports must be saved. The door is, as far as I can tell, unmeltable. Yeah. Melting point is 9,726.9. We can actually reach those temperatures, but the thing will never actually melt. So, thankfully, door's not a problem. It's just the output ports and the input ports. So, if you ever do a rocket melting process, be very careful. If you see one of these missing, revert save. just do it. Yeah, do not progress up to that point. It's just, oh, we made a mistake. Go back, go back, go back. Time travel back. It's fine. It's fine. Eject. May need to add another gas pump in here. Yeah. Could probably do that. I mostly just want all the water to steam off and this to be a full freaking steam room. I have plenty of energy to do it now. Just need to get it all in there. We do need more igneous rock. Up the priority on that, and that should get around to it. Oh, and yes, this is Experiment 52B. Do not let your dupes go near this thing. Just as a precaution. I don't know if you've run into this thing yet, but he's slightly friendly, but it attacks anything near you. So, if you feed him food, he produces resin. This is how you get isoresin, as well as getting your visco gels. I don't need it for supercoolant. Fullerene you can get from space, thank goodness. But you need isoresin if you're going to make insulation. And visco gel needs isoresin. Nope. Somebody is burning. Did the system not go through? Is that what happened? You gotta be kidding me. How many canisters we got up there left? Quite a few. Let me redirect my targeting. Yeah, Moisty is just having a bad day. This is fine. Oh, that's why, because that one actually decided to be copper instead, and thus it broke. I was wondering what the heck was going on with that one. It'll be fine. Even end up in a place like that with random duplicate burning? Yeah, I know, right? In this case, it's because we're sending petroleum through a water system. Thankfully, the base's cooling is set for 30 degrees, but I don't really need to care about it too much over here, besides just making sure that it stays below 80 degrees. Now, if they're standing in water, that's a different story. The rest of that should be fine. And I need to separate this. Actually, I do need to deconstruct one tile here. I have way too much supercoolant, and it's actually kind of been a problem for a while. And oops, I need you to reconnect this. Connect you to you. Like that. Need to do one more. I think we need to do one more. Yep. One more pipe. I want this as a clean flow all the way through, otherwise it will get too cold. But I am transferring all of the heat from this side of the map into the base to maintain about 30 degrees. Because I need 30 degrees for the liquid nuclear waste to stay liquid. Also, this planet was completely frozen, and we've almost completely converted all of the ice back into steam. Not quite there yet, but it's getting close. How are you not taking damage? Everything else seems to be perfectly reasonable. Oh yeah, let me disconnect this. We don't need any more for the time being. But the whole system does need to go through the filter here. Are you completely full on that? Yes. So you can go into there. I'm more annoyed that my dupes actually made that out of copper than they did as steel, because everything else is steel for a reason. And it's like, why did you do copper? Why? God damn it, dude. You had one job. That one's just uranium because that's all we had on us at the time. That one's perfectly safe because it's within the cooling range. And this should get the cooling loop going again. Let it catch up. Oh, do I need to do one more? Oh, come on. Come on, dupes. Yeah, temperatures are falling. It's not enough yet. Drain the waste bin into the petroleum bin. And then filter the rest of the system. Swap this for steel. Yeah, that definitely needs to be swapped for steel. Pretty sure we have enough, don't we? Oh no, we do not at the moment. Anything I can replace? Pretty sure we're already good on that one, though. Yeah, that's the toilet water. And that will eventually get filtered through the waste bin. Ugh, for such a tiny planet, this one's been kind of a nightmare to work around. I think the worst times that we've ever had someone burning, like whenever they get scalded, was there was a bug, what, 4 months ago I think it was? Or no, 5 months ago now, where some of the dupes could go through a atmosuit checkpoint without wearing a suit. So they could run up to the thing, activate the little animation, and then they'd walk past it with no suit. And I was getting people burning in here, and I was just like, oops, why? Why are you running around without a suit? And it was just, oh, it's just a bug. They were making their way through the wall, and I was like, why? Thankfully, Clyde fixed it, but it was one of those just, God damn it, devs. One job. Not to do that. Negative 182, 88. I am actually imparting the energy from this tile into here. So you'll see random little foots of cooling, and that's actually, this is turning into steam, as you can see, and then it slowly cools down. Sometimes it makes it up to the top, and then it goes right back down. Self-preservation and wouldn't be willingly burning themselves to death. Yeah, I know. That's why I always say you can believe in your dupes, but never trust your dupes. They will find every single possible failure in your base design bar none every time. And even when there is no actual faults, the game will bug out from time to time, and then they will still find a way to hurt themselves. Bees are technically a centrifuge. They're actually the most efficient centrifuge in the game. When they find uranium, they will A, dig the uranium at a 95% rate, which is awesome. If your dupes dig up uranium, you lose 50%. If the bees dig it up, you lose 5%. And whenever the bees are throwing the uranium into their hives, they're actually creating enriched uranium. And it's completely lossless. At least when it's in the hive. So, whenever you find your bees, use them for your centrifuge. You do not need to make the centrifuge. Just use them. They're way better. I just wish you could actually have the dupes, like, pet them. Like, I know that's a major ask because these things are highly volatile, extremely dangerous, and also have a really, really nasty quirk to them. For reference, every time you save and load the game, normally your dupes are completely immune to them when in Atmos suits. Because the bees just don't care. Because they're technically like, a bee suit. There's no problems with this. There's a problem, though. The game gives every duplicant a random number whenever you save and load the game. The random number is purely determined to the bees, well, the betas specifically, and if your dupe has the number that says attack, and your dupe is, say, was yesterday when you were playing inside the bee enclosure, and was perfectly safe when you save and load the game, and now the dupe has the number, congratulations! Every bee within a 5-mile radius is going to try to kill them at the exact moment that you loaded the game. So if you have a lot of duplicants, make sure to do proper door access controls. If one of them gets, like, just absolutely lambasted and wipes out your entire beehive because they just RNG'd the number when you loaded the game, make sure you, for the, like, current play session, make sure that you just prevent them from going into the room. Just don't do it. You're better off keeping the bees alive and fully functioning rather than accidentally wiping them out. Because one of your dupes was just, they got a bad day with a bad roll, and now they're about to just eat like 90 damage and kill all of your flying betas. It happens. It sucks when it happens. There's really no way for you to know. There's no, like, direct indicator that tells you what's going to cause a problem, but you'll know immediately when you get a warning that your duplicant is fleeing and you don't know why. And then you see them near the bees and you're just like, oh god, no. Run, run, run. Like, dupes, run! Like, you got the number. Run for your lives. It sucks, but that is the way it works. Oh, also it looks like Brave Apollo is done. Back you go. Sputnik. You're very close to done. I will check you in just a couple seconds. But yeah, the betas are good. Just very dangerous if you're not paying attention. Or the game just decides to cuck you. Roger that, Xander. No problem. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask. Nope. And I see the puff prints and the others are just pooping out tons and tons of pufflet eggs. I need squeaky puffs, come on. I don't see a puffed prince. Not that one. Let move. Move you to there. And move you there. I'm so glad that they added the move to command. It was with one of the recent updates, and it's so good. Like, oh my goodness. Just, oh. It's great. Oh, I'm so close to getting all this to turn into steam, and then I can get rid of the mini bump completely. Now goes emptying this thing. Slowly but surely it is going. I have the second one there. We've already got our vacuum. You are actually ready to start going off again. Actually, I should probably just move the tungsten from this volcano's chamber to the other one. Because I'm utilizing the tungsten over there as just a cooling source. This one's the one that needs to stay in a vacuum. I love me my tungsten volcanoes. Mostly because they're really easy to tame, but when you're having to work with liquid tungsten, it's like, this do be the scary material. Liquid niobium is actually not as bad as liquid tungsten. Which is crazy, but yeah. Yeah, you guys just need to scoop the stuff over here. We should be good to go. So I should probably put a little bit of automation on you. Hey, there we go. Go, steam, go! Vaporize! I do need to pump the rest of this stuff out. You two actually need to merge in the middle and then connect. Leave it like that. I need to clean up this pipe. It's no longer needed. If it's only 190 in there, your suit handles 1,100. You'll be fine. Ooh, oxyfern. Oh, nails. If you had... Oh, why couldn't you have been a rancher? God dang it. Nails. 12 farming. 12 ranching. Loner. Narcolept. Oh, they would be so good if they were just a rancher, not a farmer. That actually hurts. Muckroot with 4,800 kilocalories, or a May with caregiver, building impairment, kitchen menace, and doctoring. That's actually not a bad dupe for being a doctor. Don't need another doctor right now, but I could definitely take the oxy. Just shoving it over here again. Why not? Yeah, that'll do. Okay, those are done. 9 priority, all of that. Oh crap! I might get decided to go for random. Hold up. Bring what was going on with that. Give me my igneous rock, please. Transfer the lines. Turn you off for the time being. Puffed eggs around, getting this reorganized. It's so close. I just need this whole thing to just poof into freaking steam. Come on, you. Come on, water system. And we're 1 tile away from done. And let me do that. I will need to clean this entire area out. Not too big of a deal. I also need to just flood this system. Pretty sure I need to just have water up to there. Otherwise, we're just not going to have enough thermal mass in there to actually run anything efficiently anyway. It's so close. I should be able to get that one finished. Let's check and flip that one real quick. Where do we want to plant our oxyburn? I'm almost thinking over here. Should be enough distance. Nope, we're getting toilet warning. Hey, dupes. Or that to a 9 priority. If we need to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. We'll, you guys finish the whole strip. Oh, you were so close to being done. I also need to clean those up. Yeah, that's expected. Slowly moving all of the ice up there. Probably need to inject some for that. Still debating if we even want to touch this thing. I'm normally not a fan of copper volcanoes, just in general. They're barely usable for anything. Gold is better in almost every single aspect. And the only thing that they're useful for is generating a lot of power. That is if you want to tame them. But that's really about it. Else did we burn through all of our petroleum? Actually, looks like we did. Excess natural gas do we have laying around? Not much. Also, let me add that. Pick that up. And one. Check the vitals real quick. How's the temperature situation? 75. Actually, pretty good. That's completely emptied. Nope. High priority's gonna fuck me on that one. There's a little bit of petroleum right there that needs to go through the filter system. Not it. Be sure we're completely filled on oxygen. Yep. Batteries looking. Actually, we have plenty of petroleum here now, so we'll probably just run the whole system. Nope. How? Where did you come from? Liquid nuclear waste is just sitting here. 39.6. How? From what? I haven't sent any nuclear waste anywhere. You just teleport? I got a solid chunk up there. Pretty sure that was from a rad bolt incident with a tuft. Alrighty then. Random nuclear waste sitting over here. Like, there? Okay. This is fine. How is the super coolant working? That's actually pretty good. Yeah, I gotta get that switched out with, steel. Alright, cooling loop is literally right there. Still feel like I need to remove another blob. I don't think, pretty sure I don't have a plumber. No, I do not. Yeah, I have no idea how you got in there. Let me just dump you into space. And get rid of another pipe here. Should hopefully get the thing sorted. This should give it enough room to move. Because it's already moving, I just need to get the timing right again. Please work. Guys go there. For it to move. Ah, it's all it's moving by 2. No, it's so close. Fine, fine. One more. Ah, trying to keep the thing rolling. Either of you come on over and fix that. I need to throw down a med bed for Moisty. Where to put it? I'd probably just remove the egg smasher and just put it there. Really no other safe location to put him. I'm not putting him in there. Yeah, that'll do. Oh, it's so close. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's so close to being good. Yeah, that's gotta go. Do we have any spare steel? We do not. Need to send some over is what I need to do. Okay, let me target that. Disable the igneous rock. I need to send steel over there. Oh. Also, I should probably end this episode and start the next one. I'm looking at it. It'll be a 3-hour episode if I keep going. Actually, well, it's already a 3-hour episode. It'll only go worse. Let me get this set up for us. Yep. Targeting there. And I need manufacturing materials. Nope. Okay. Let's be there. Should have been done. Yep. Back. Okay. That in. The sulfur going. It's doing a pretty good job of cleaning up all the temperature. Because again, the temperature was 1,300, like 1,500 actually. Now we're down to almost completely walkable. It's getting closer. Mostly just venting into space. You need to connect these. And I need a dupe to come down here and poke that out. 162, let's get that done. Camera here, like check the killing real quick. Oh. Power. Who knew? I can see it. We're so close to getting that online. Then I can start melting the resin here. Then I'll have to do it back at main base. I might need to just burn that through. I'll force the issue on some of this more construction over here on Rudabo, but that'll be for next time. Alan. Anything else I need to pay attention to? Nope. It's all getting sorted on its own. Probably do 3. Case. Power is running over here. Okay, we'll make some more refined phosphorus next time. So 163. I think we can call 162 here, and then I'll immediately get straight back into 163 once we get the save down. Okay, we don't have that much longer to wait on this system. Let me drop a save here. Oh, 272790. Oh, I'll take it. So far, we seem to be doing okay on performance. I don't think I need to do a restart. At least not for this one, it looks like. Yeah, for once. I'm so used to Oxygen Not Included just imploding immediately. But yeah, I think that will call it for episode 162. A lot of gains. We are a little less than 100,000 kilograms on that achievement. I'm calling that a victory.